she's fine, Charles, really.
Why can't she come to the phone?
Well, she's been down at the courthouse giving depositions.
It's all very routine. Nothing's happened to her?
No, she's just been straightening a few things out.
I worry about her, Luke. The authorities might have changed their mind.
No, there's not much chance of that happening.
Has the money been recovered?
Well, that's what she's doing right now. It's a very complicated business, lots of technicalities.
You're sure there won't be any repercussions? No.
Nothing we can't handle.
That's a relief. I'm glad you're taking care of her, Luke. She's always needed someone.
Yeah.
I was a little afraid to let her go with you. So many things could have gone wrong.
Mr. Sutton, I think you need to rest.
No, I'm all right. Just knowing Holly's not in any trouble. She's all that matters to me, Luke. You'll take good care of her, won't you?
Yeah.
You have to promise me.
Nothing's gonna happen.
Now, I need your word. Not just for now, but for always. That you'll look after her, take care of her, and be there for her.
You have my word, Mr. Sutton.
Thank you. Ever call me, will you?
As soon as she has a chance.
Send my love. Tell her I think about her all the time.
Yeah, I will. Listen, I have to get off the phone now, Mr. Sutton.
I understand. Goodbye, Luke.
Goodbye. Oh, yeah, Bobbie Spencer, please. It's her brother, Luke.
Your brother.
Thank you. Luke, hi. What's up?
Oh, nurse. Nurse. The staff meeting's been changed.
Yes, it's tomorrow. And would you notify the other nurses, please? Just the day shift. Right. Thank you.
What are you going to do? All right. Well, I'll see you then. Bye.
Something wrong?
That was Luke. The judge said no bail. They can't get her out.
What? That's ridiculous. She didn't do anything to warrant a no bail situation.
The judge must know something we don't.
Like what?
Well, she is the only swindler who was caught. Perhaps he's afraid of losing her.
Holly would never jump bail.
We don't know that, Bobbie.
I do. She's not the type. Besides, Luke would never allow it.
She ran away from him before.
She was taken away. And in the end, she's the one that helped to get the money back. I think it's bad enough that they arrested her, but to leave her in jail like that, it's inhuman.
No, Bobbie. I'm not saying I agree with the judge. I'm just saying that we don't know all the facts.
Somehow, I feel this is a bad time to have walked in on this conversation.
Well, we were just talking about Holly's being denied bail.
It's hard to figure, isn't it?
Steve doesn't think so.
I simply said that the judge wouldn't have made that decision without some reasonable cause.
Somehow, Lee and I just don't understand it. What possible cause could there be?
It's just that, you know, Holly's returning to face the music of her own volition was a very courageous act, and most judges would take that into consideration.
Are we ignoring the fact that Holly's been accused of a very serious crime?
Well, nobody's arguing that, Steve.
I just think we want an explanation as to why the trial is being handled in this manner.
Well, maybe the judge is as prejudiced as some other people in town. Excuse me, I'm going over to the courthouse.
I, get that file I forgot, darling. Should we go?
You're gonna walk out on me, too?
No.
I just don't understand it. No matter what I do, I just don't seem to say the right thing.
Well, it's just that Holly Sutton is a rather sticky situation right now.
Apparently.
So, you've got to get a head start on raising this money.
What about you?
I'll be at the courthouse.
Well, that's not exactly fair.
What isn't fair, my darling, is the amount of money we have to raise.
Well, how can we be so sure how much that will be?
We can't, but we do know it's going to be a lot. This judge apparently has never heard of the word mercy.
100,000?
Well, we actually only need 10, perhaps less if the bail's less. It works on a kind of a down payment arrangement.
I hate to be the one to throw a wet towel on all this,
Then
but...
don't.
Well, I have to.
Because the fact of the matter is, Robert, none of us have any money.
That's why you've got to go out and collect on a few favors.
My friends are poorer than I am.
Yeah, there's no hearse at our paper.
What about Noah?
No, Robert, absolutely not. I feel bad enough about him losing all his money on that stupid oil swindle.
Hasn't he got his money back yet?
He's never going to get his money back because his investment was on the surrounding area.
Prize dump acreage. Get a perfect view of the dump on every lot.
Yes, and with only one person to blame, Miss Holly Sutton. And I don't think it would be at all tasteful to ask him to invest his money in her court defense.
Well, that may be. But why not let him decide that? I mean, I doubt that he was too inconvenienced by the last sting.
Well, maybe he wasn't. But I'm certainly not going to be the one to crawl and beg for more.
She's right. It isn't fair.
The word fair hardly applies here. We have one Holly Sutton rotting in jail for a crime she never committed. Don't talk to me about the word fair.
No, there seems to be some kind of delay. Richardson's doing a lot of running around at the last minute. Of course, they won't tell me the whole story.
What about Joe?
He'll be here. Robert, too.
Is there anything I can do?
Can wait. Like the rest of it. You notice that, Barbara Jean? They always make you wait before they throw it at you. It's just like the dentist's office. Remember that? Why the hell don't they get it over with?
Why don't we go over there and sit down?
No, you go ahead. I think better on my feet.
Luke, you gotta relax. You're too wound up.
I know I'm wound up. I'm so wound up. I feel like I'm gonna just gonna shatter into a bunch of pieces. She did the right thing. She came back. She didn't run for it. She brought the money back. She did the right thing. What the hell do these people want? It's my fault, kid.
Luke,
I talked her into coming back.
You
though.
had no other choice. Could you have come back here without her?
No.
Could you have run away and not come back at all? Well, then you both did exactly what you knew you had to do.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to go down and see if they'll let me talk with her. Do you want to come?
No, I think I better wait here for Joe and Robert. They might have some news.
You got any messages you want me to deliver?
She knows them all. Here's Dr. Doolittle.
No good news.
At least as far as immediate sources of money are concerned. What about Tiffany, the girls?
They're working on it.
Well, something will turn up.
Yeah, anytime.
Maybe you just should have listened more before commenting.
Audrey, I listened to everything that was said, and I made a comment. I am entitled to an opinion, you know.
Well, yes, of course. But not all answers are black and white, you know. There are shades of gray.
And don't forget, you have to remember that there are a lot of factors involved in this case we know nothing
Well,
about.
that's why we should reserve our judgment. After all, Holly came back voluntarily. It wasn't as if she ran away,
I'm
was
not
it?
denying that. And I don't want to see her in jail any more than the rest of you.
Well, it certainly wasn't Bobbie's impression.
Well, that's because she walked out before I had a chance to explain. Don't you? Nurse, we're checking out.
Dr. Hardy. Dr. Hardy, I wonder if I could have a word with you.
Concerning what, Mr. Richardson?
Al Barker's death. I understand you were in the room when the body was discovered.
I arrived several minutes after. Luke Spencer found the body.
Accompanied by Miss Sutton, I believe.
Yes, and a few others.
Well, if I may, Doctor, how would you gauge Miss Sutton's reaction at that time?
I'm not sure I follow you.
Well, did she display any fear, any sadness or shock? I mean, did she display any emotion at all?
No, none that I recall.
Well, then you don't remember her reaction.
Well, no, that's not what I said. I do remember very well what her reaction was. She showed no display of emotion at all. She was silent, almost thoughtful. Withdrawn, I'd have to say.
Well, didn't that strike you as being odd?
Yes, it did. As a matter of fact, it was totally different from what I expected.
Doctor, could we go to your office for a moment, please?
May I ask why?
Well, I'd like to draw up a quick deposition and have you sign it. What? Does that create a problem?
You're going to use it against her, aren't you?
Well, Doctor, a deposition is a lot easier than a subpoena, which I could have drawn up and ordered very quickly. Now, either you saw what you described or you didn't.
Dr. Barrows, report to ICU staff.
Oh, this one.
Good.
Not exactly the Savoy.
They never are.
Have you seen Luke?
He's upstairs with Joe and Robert.
I suppose it's a silly question, but any news?
We're going to have to wait and see how the judge rules. But, Holly, don't worry, because I know that everything is going to be okay. Everyone is rooting for you.
Not everyone, I'd imagine.
Your friends are. That's all that counts.
If only I could be up there, it would be so much easier. I just feel so helpless locked up like this.
Luke's going to get you out of here.
I know.
Maybe if you keep on saying it, you'll start to believe it.
You can tell.
Holly, just between you and me, I have been on the side you're on a couple of times, so I know how hard it is to keep the confidence up.
So many obstacles.
Leave that to Luke.
I do trust him.
I know you do. I know you're scared.
I've never felt more alone.
There's only one thing that I can say to you. Luke is a wonderful man, and he loves you. And when this whole thing is over, that may be the only thing that you end up with. But you just remember how lucky you are going to be.
Thank you.
Well, you be thankful for Luke. 'Cause there's only one on earth like him.
All rise. Please be seated. I'm sorry for the delay. I could have rescheduled this for tomorrow, but I assumed that you all wanted to get this out of the way. Before I begin, are there any remarks?
If I could say a few words, Your Honor.
Mr. Kelly?
Thank you. Sir, when my client, Miss Sutton, came back to Port Charles, she did it fully cognizant of what she would be facing. She knew she was facing jail and maybe worse. Yet she didn't hesitate. She came right back. I think that act of faith alone should guarantee her the limited freedom that bail affords. I mean, not taking into consideration whether she's a citizen or not. It should be her right as a human being. I think what I'm trying to say, Your Honor, is that if you deny her bail, you may be in danger of setting a precedent, not just in her case, but in the case of everyone that comes under the system of jurisprudence in the state of New York. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Mr. Richardson, if you'll limit your remarks, perhaps we can all get home in time for dinner.
Well, this won't take long, Your Honor. At this time, I would like to introduce to the court a signed deposition from Dr. Stephen Hardy, Chief of Staff at General Hospital, stating that, in his opinion, Miss Sutton's reaction to the victim's body indicated that she knew of the death ahead of time, proving that she could and probably was involved in the premeditation of this heinous crime.
Your Honor, I object. The district attorney's obviously trying to sway you, and he has no right to introduce evidence at this time.
Yes, you're quite right, Mr. Kelly. However, we all decided that this would be an informal hearing, therefore I will accept the deposition.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Richardson? Are there any other statements? And I shall proceed. Miss Sutton, there are many factors which I must take into consideration when setting a bail. Whether you're trustworthy, whether you present a danger to society, whether freedom on bail is necessary for you to prepare your defense. I must admit that up until now, you've been very cooperative with the court. However, given your family situation and the alleged past reputation of yours, it is difficult for the court to be lenient in its terms. Therefore, I'm going to set bail at $350,000.
Your Honor, this is outrageous.
Does your client have sufficient funds to bail?
Not at this time, but we will raise it, Your Honor.
Very well. Until bail is met, the court remands Miss Sutton to custody. This court is adjourned.
All rise. Okay, we got at least a figure that we can keep our eye on, all right?
350. That's not a figure you can keep your eye on, Joe. That's a figure you lay down under.
We just have to get it up, that's all.
I'm going with her.
Luke will be at Kelly's.
Robert, what
They
happened?
set the bail at $350,000.
Oh, that's
That's 3 times what we expected.
Listen, we'll see you over there, all right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So did Luke go to Holly?
Yeah. What are you doing, sweetheart?
Well, Tiffany just felt really bad about what happened. We all did.
Yeah, well, I've got more important things to think about.
We want to help Robert. It's just that you can't ask Tiffany to go to Noah. She feels he's already done more than he should have.
Okay, no Noah.
Where does that leave us?
Stone, motherless, broke. We thought about selling the Star, but we can't get rid of it quick enough.
Too bad. It would have given you a good excuse to get out of the nightclub business.
That really wasn't what I was thinking about.
In the back of your mind. In the DIM job, am I right?
I'm thinking about the money. And until this business with Luke and Holly is concluded, I'm not going anywhere.
Listen, I've seen higher walls than this. We'll raise it.
It's so much, Luke.
Well, Joe says we don't have to come up with all of it, you know, just a percentage. 20, 30,000.
You don't have that either.
Oh, I can get it. Somehow.
Did you call Father?
Yeah, he doesn't know anything about it. I didn't tell him anything. I told him you were busy with legal technicalities.
Almost the truth. Did he seem all right?
He's worried. Next time he wants you to call. I told him it wouldn't be very long. Gosh, I hate it that you're in here. I really hate it so much.
Stop it. It's all right. It's not hurting me.
No, I don't care about that. I know they're not hurting you, but that's not the point. All my life I've heard about democracy. Justice. They can't just take all of that away right now. They can't do it and get away with it.
Please, let's not talk about it.
I'm sorry.
Would you hold me just for a moment?